Welcome, everyone. I'm delighted to be here with Sarah Ashley Wheeler, who's going to be teaching at Omega Institute during the Lionsgate full moon weekend happening August 8th through 10th of this year. And it's just exciting to have this time to chat with you about the weekend and also to be on the same virtual connection with you. So
Yeah.
would love just to hear if you want to share anything about like the importance of of your work aligning with the power of the full moon and the Lionsgate weekend at Omega.
Yeah. So I feel like this season for many of us is about energetic leadership. So, there's lots of amazing rituals that are typically done during 8/8 or during an entire Lionsgate, but also the fact that there's a full moon. There's so much that we can tap into. And so one of the things that makes my work unique, I've trained with Durick, as trauma Durick for 8 years. And what I've discovered through that is energetic mastery. So during the Lion's Gate, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some really powerful energy hacks that you can remember how to master energy. And I think that's what's so important. We can do the manifestation rituals, and I say yes to that, but knowing how you actually manifest, are you magnetic or do you play more with electricity, right? And so those are one of my favorite things to actually help you master is how do you do what you do energetically? Because we're all different. We're all coded and wired a little bit differently. But without you knowing how you do what you do, I think that it's just so important.
Yeah, well, I know it's going to be an exciting time with you at Omega. And one thing that really excites me too is when we have teachers like you who are very tuned into the energy. And there's also the cumulative energy that has occurred at Omega with, 48 seasons of people like yourself coming and doing amazing work and how that gets soaked into the classrooms and the trees and the land. And it's just like this kind of emanates everywhere. And you're somebody who I see would very easily be able to riff off of that abundance of vibration that's already kind of tingling at Omega all the time.
Yeah, I love that. I'm like, let's go to the trees and talk to the trees and hang out. I love it. Yeah. And what I think also makes me so unique is I was the 3-year-old that was seeing guides and angels in the room. And I didn't grow up in a space where that was diminished or, um, like, Sarah, you shouldn't be talking to the fairies or whatever. So I've been able to fully express all of my gifts and being able to channel and not have that. And I'm just so blessed, as a new mom, to be able to give that to my son as well. And so what I find with doing energy shifting with thousands of people is there was a point in someone's life where that was degraded or shut down or fear came through, right? And so my favorite thing is to be like, well, without all of the walls, without all of the so-called blocks that you call blocks, let's get you back to your original blueprint of what it feels like to walk on the planet and feel safe and take up space on this planet, but also all the God-given divine gifts that you already have and tap into that.
Um, one thing I want to mention is that we're going to have you do a healing through the video to whoever watches the video. And originally, my I don't want to put you on the spot. Originally,
Yeah.
my thought was, oh, we could have that be towards the end, but part of me was thinking, if you did it now, it might actually adjust whatever questions or whatever's coming from me as I'm talking to you. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, let's do I love it. Let's do a
Yeah,
power increase. So
yeah.
the way that I move energy, I'm connecting to my soul lineage and I'm also connecting to my ancestors. So one of the things it's like we can, as Reiki practitioner, you're channeling all of this energy that comes through. And so people may not know behind the scenes what you're really connecting to. So I'm just going to go ahead and you'll feel this energy. It's a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and
Mhm.
connect into my star lineage. and you'll feel this frequency come through. So what I'm doing right now is I'm bringing through the Lionsgate energy coming through already right now that we can
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
tap into. And so as this energy starts to move, what you don't see that I'm doing is there's just like all this star codes that are just coming out of my hands. And Brett, you're probably already like
I'm totally feeling them.
feeling
Yeah.
that. And right. And then I want you to feel the difference in this. So I'm going to connect in with my ancestors and I'm going to open up this prosperity energy for us to connect to now that's going to be available through the Lion's Gate. So I'm actually connecting into the portal in last Lion's Gate because energy is multidimensional and there's no time and no space. So I'm just going to connect in with that energy. And I've got some really amazing shamanic ancestors. I've got ancestors that are really experts in healing. I call them mending spirits. So anyone that has any physical issues or pains or problems, we can kind of go in. So right now, I'm just increasing abundance and prosperity flow. And I'm just going to anchor that and I'm going to just turn it up, make it stronger. And now you can feel the difference between star codes and ancestral, right? And now I'm just going to turn it up. I'm going to make it even stronger and bring in some fire energy into it. I'm going to increase the magnetic energy that pulls through for manifesting. And now you can probably feel some heat or some physical sensations through your body, right? And this is what I love to teach is really energetic mastery. What I'm teaching or what I'm doing, I've done since I was a little girl. And so if we could help you move through resistance and fear of the unknown and speaking to your guides and being afraid to hear, see how easy and natural I just make energy.
Yeah. Yeah. That was awesome.
Thank you.
I was definitely just, I mean, because I'm very sensitive to energy healing anyway, but that was just really really lovely. So first of all, I'm very grateful, and also just wanting to say, everybody who's watching this, that was not just for me. That's for everybody who watches this. And the
Yes.
beautiful thing about these kinds of videos is that each time you watch it, you're still receiving that. Now, one question for you is, what you did was just amazing. So are people in the workshop going to learn how to do that for themselves?
Yes,
Wow.
exactly. So we'll bring in, spirit technology, spirit optimizers. We've got the okay from Shaman Durek to, have you guys hold them and demo them. And one
Yeah.
of the things that I really love is utilizing the spirit technology in your hand. But what we can do is we can really start to increase your powers a lot faster,
Hmm.
which is so powerful. So we'll get to play with different colors, we'll get to really understand what's inside them, we'll play with the symbol on top of them, and it's really energetic mastery the entire weekend long, right? It's so
Wow. That doesn't just sound amazing. That is that is amazing, and particularly happening on the power of that weekend and all the magic at Omega. Again, I'm feeling a little bit speechless now from the healing that you just gave
let's
me.
just ground. Hold on one second.
Do I have to?
Ground. Hold on. Let me just ground everyone into
Yeah.
the beautiful prosperity tree. Hold on a second. In the tree of life. I'm just going to ground that energy down. Okay. Some people are like, no, I want to stay high. I get it. Yeah, just grounding that. Ancestors support us in grounding. Show us how you're supporting us in grounding and anchoring in this energy. There we go. And while we're grounding, let's just increase our powers at the same time. Ancestors, go ahead and do that. There we go. And show us how to take space on earth. Take up space. There we go. Okay, that feels good. Yay.
Wow. And I'm just trying to, in my mind, to wrap my head around what this has been less than 15 minutes. So what? What
What
is
are we talking
the
about now?
10.5 hours of a full Omega weekend workshop?
Right.
Yeah,
Well, so what you're seeing me do, let's like talk
yeah,
about that a little bit.
yeah.
So as you know, and you've been in this world for, I don't know how long you've been in this, you've tapped into your things,
Yeah.
and your divine service is so amazing. We all have these unique codes and these energies. And one of the things that I think is so amazing and the best gift that we can give ourselves is, do you see how I brought the ancestors in and I just leaned back and I let the ancestors step forward and step in? That takes a lot of courage. So, what I've seen is some people are like, yeah, I really want to connect to my guides. And I'm like, well, great, there's hundreds of millions. Like, what dimension do you want to connect into? Do you want to connect into healing guides? Do you want to connect into council members? Do you want to connect into your ancestors? Like, that alone would be an entire 10-hour and a half
Mhm.
weekend just doing that, right? But what you witnessed is how easy I make energy
Mhm.
because of my trust and the fact that I can see what they're doing. And I've been able to be like, all right, step in. You've got
Mhm.
this. So there's something there. When I talk about energy mastery, it goes beyond that. It goes to your soul, but as the human, to be able to relax and let spirit that maybe you can't see but you can feel truly step in and lead, that to me is like the best gift we can ever give ourselves.
Mhm. Wow. Well, I'm just, like I said, I'm so kind of speechless
Mm.
from the power of the healing that you just did, and also just excited about the potential of what people can get from
Mhm.
the power of that weekend. Because again, like I said, this short healing that you did here felt pretty amazing. And to be able to not only experience several of those, I'm sure you'll do a few of those throughout the weekend, but
Mhm.
also to be able to learn then how to do that for oneself, or maybe how to do that for loved ones, friends, family, maybe even professionally,
Yeah.
etc. That's just friggin' mind blowing. And that's from somebody who just, we just had an amazing Reiki conference at Omega that was, again, lovely,
So
beautiful.
good.
But this is just, this is like next level stuff, at least in my opinion. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, wow.
Oh, one thing that you can do actually, if you had the magnifier SO or the ancient truth, one thing I do see is, how the Reiki energy, like you become one with
Hmm.
the Reiki energy. I like to turn it up. So see how I was like kind of playing with different levels.
Hmm.
Um, and I love to take the magnifier if I am doing Reiki or with people that are doing Reiki. And I bring that magnetic energy in with the orange SO, and you can really turn up those powers really quickly. So if
Yeah,
we had someone on the table and we're doing Reiki, or even like you could just have it next to you and you're
yeah.
doing Reiki sessions. Like, let me just show you really quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna feel the difference in energy really quick. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna send. Okay, tapping in. Okay, so the what's coming through right now is I'm just gonna do some fire Reiki. And you know how Reiki feels like very calm? Like your
Hmm.
nervous system feels just like so relaxed. Well,
Hmm.
watch what happens when I bring in the energy of the spirit optimizer. So magnifier SO, go in, download Quintarium energy, and let's amplify the Reiki. Let's take it higher and turn it up. And let's have the
Wow.
ancestors dance around the fire. Let's infuse it. And let's balance the fire in every single person's system. And magnifier, let's turn this up. You feel that potency just get a little bit stronger and a little
Yeah.
bit stronger.
Yeah.
Like my hands are like, "Ugh." So that's just a very two-second example of just the power of the
Yeah.
optimizer with Reiki.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow. Um, is there anything else that you want to share for people in terms of folks who are maybe not exposed to your work and all they know is you from this video and they're thinking they might want to check out your workshop at Omega? Is there anything else you want to share for them about what to expect or what, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? So everyone that ever watches this, because this video will be timeless, it does get to be this easy. And I've trained a lot of people in their own unique gifts. So I can give you the tools that I can do, but it's only because I've been able to master how I do what I do. So the difference and the power of course, I'm utilizing really powerful technologies and star codes to increase my powers consistently. That's literally what I do on a daily basis. But you have your own way of moving energy and your healing abilities for yourself, for pets, for your children, for clients, that like you need to understand how you do what you do. So
Mhm.
if I could kind of ground the energy a little bit, yes, I'm going to teach you all the things that I just shared and more. But I want you to be able to be like, what's my power energy, Sarah? How
Mhm.
do I do this? Because when I feel your energy, I feel lifted up. But anytime I'm doing a session with someone, they feel very grounded. And I'm like, that's because you have grounding codes. So that's just as powerful,
Mhm.
right? So I feel like there's a lot of amazing methods that many people have channeled, right? Human
Mhm.
design, gene keys, Reiki, I don't know what other healing, NLP, right? Any other
Sure.
healing modality. And that's through someone's channeled framework. So one
Mhm.
of the things that makes me a little bit unique and a little bit different is I see the power that you've had for eons, and I can show you how to use what you can do,
Mhm. Mhm.
which is
Wow.
so fun. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I would say.
Wow. That's brilliant. Well, I'm looking forward to, you being at Omega in just what about like a little over a month.
Mhm.
And I know that those who are going to take your workshop are going to be blessed and uh, discover many gifts about themselves and about energy healing and about the world in itself.
Yes.
Um, so I just want to thank you for taking time to share your gifts through this video, and I will share it where I can. And again, I'm still a little speechless from the healing. So that was, and this is from somebody who's like immersed in energy healing all the time.
Are,
So
yeah.
kudos to you on that, and whatever guides and beings you were working with. So thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.